Thank you. For the series, as every series goes for us, we have one that you can download or utilize within the Bible app. So you have your 28-day devotional called Wonder. That's our series. And you're going to utilize that on a daily basis as part of your daily devotionals. We will refer to those and use them as part of our reference and discussion in the morning services. Again, at 9:30 when we get together, have a little devotion time there. It's going to be based on these series that you can utilize in the Bible app on a daily basis. They only take you a matter of minutes. You can read them on the car ride to school. You can, well, nobody's in school yet, right? It's summertime? Y'all ain't in school yet, right? Don't talk about school, Josh Ortiz. Not yet, not now. Right? Oh, you start on Monday? All right. All right, so it's quick. It's quick. You can do this. So scan the QR code. If you don't have a device, you can always do this in the good old-fashioned World Wide Web. Right? And just track along with us, again, with this series called Wonder. All right. So the average commercial airplane cruises at about 30 to 35,000 feet. How many of y'all been on an airplane? Some of y'all just got off one, right? You guys, most of us in here have been on an airplane. The average airplane cruises at about 30,000, 35,000 feet, right? Mount Everest, the highest mountain, right, in the world, is roughly, well, it's been measured in 2020, 29,031 feet, 8.5 inches tall. So, I mean, you could give a high five to somebody on an airplane, right? Get peanuts from the stewardess, right? If you had the chance to climb Mount Everest, would you go for it? No. If you had a chance to climb Mount Everest, now think of this, it's as high as an airplane, right? So you've been on an airplane, you see above the clouds. If you had a chance to climb to the summit, it's called, of Mount Everest, would you do it? I heard a couple of no's. Did I hear any yeses? Who said yes? I heard a lot of no's. Who said yeah? I knew Sebastian was going to say that. This kid's a thrill junkie. He'll go up that mountain, no problem. All right, who else said yeah? Who else said yes? I had a couple of yeses, right? Okay. Who said no? A lot of y'all said no. All right, of the no's, give me a couple. Let me hear. Why wouldn't you want to do that? She said, what do you mean, why would you? It's high. It's certainly high where the oxygen will change, yes. So it makes it very, very difficult to breathe, yeah. You uncovered a little known fact, a known fact rather, is that there are people who don't make it to the top for a bunch of reasons. Sometimes it's because they don't survive. I got another no. There's avalanches. I don't want to do it. It's going to be hard to breathe. There's apparently dead bodies along the way, right? This is grueling. Hold on, I'm getting to the yeses in a minute. Yeah. I don't want to die. I hate ice. It's too cold. Okay, give me some yeses. I saw some of y'all that raised your hand, right? Why yes? Because it would be fun. Get the adrenaline going. What was it? YOLO. Okay, all right, guys. Well, then let's climb it because you only live once, right? Right? Well, whether or not you would or would not do it, right? I think we can all appreciate that climbing to the summit of Mount Everest would be like an amazing, awesome experience. It might be scary. It might have its reasons why you might not want to do it. But I think someone who does do it, you can appreciate why they'd want to, because it's an amazing experience. It's exhilarating, right? It's thrilling. It gets the endorphins going, right? The adrenaline pumping. But amazing experiences can change based on people's perspectives, right? One person might love to climb all the way to the top of the mountain, and another person, they might love doing something a little bit less stressful, all right? So listen here. Which experience would you prefer? Show of hands. Looking at a mountain or climbing one? Who wants to look at the mountain? Doesn't matter. To me anyways. I'm like, right? Or who, all right, so that's looking. Who wants to climb it? Okay. All right. All right, scuba diving with sharks with a cage? Without a cage? Who wants with a cage? Who says, I'm not scuba diving with sharks with or without a cage at all? Right? Who wants to do it without the cage? All right. Same people that would climb the mountain of Mount Everest do it, right? What about jumping off the top of a waterfall? What about jumping off the top of a waterfall or swimming in that pool at the bottom, nice and calm, peaceful? Who takes jumping off the waterfall? Who would swim in the pool nice and calm at the bottom? All right. How about if you had the opportunity and maybe the few $1 billion to go see outer space in person? Who would go to outer space in person in a rocket ship? Go see outer space. Who would just stay in their backyard and see it through a telescope? Right? Who would see it through a telescope? There's something about each of these experiences, of course, that we can appreciate, that can be awesome, that can be thrilling, right? Many times, they cause us to admit that there's something bigger than ourselves, something beyond us, right? Especially if you're surveying things like space or being at the summit of Mount Everest and overlooking literally the clouds, right? They leave you speechless often when you're saying like, wow, oh my gosh, wow, 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 like nonstop, right? Those reactions happen because we're responding to something big, something incredible, something impossible, something powerful or unique. Next slide, James, please. That sense of awe and wonder is at the heart of worship. That sense of awe and wonder, that feeling that you get, that's invigorating, that is awesome, right? That's wonderful, is invigorating, right? It's what's at the heart of worship, right? Awe, utter amazement, wonder, a cause for astonishment or admiration, or the quality of exciting, amazed admiration, right? That sense of awe and wonder is at the heart of worship. So this is week 1 of our series called Wonder, right? Where we're exploring what it means to live a lifestyle of worship, right? So over the next 4 weeks, we're going to discuss some important reasons why we worship. This might be a little small, but it's some important reasons why we worship. Specifically because God is holy, God provides, God is faithful, and God can heal, right? So we're going to be talking about worship as a lifestyle over this next 4-week series. And it's going to be targeting God who is holy, who provides, who is faithful, and who can heal, right? So today we're discussing the first reason why we worship, because God is holy. So the Bible, you know me, I'm going to get technical in time, so we have the same understanding of what we're talking about. The Bible describes the term holy as it relates to God, as God is absolutely and wholly separated and unique, right? God's absolute separation and uniqueness, his complete purity, his moral perfection, and his awesome power and glory. This is what the Bible wants to communicate when it's talking about the idea of holiness, the concept of holy, and as it relates to God, right? That I've heard this actually captured with the phrase wholly other, not holy, H-O-L-Y, holy, W-H-O-O-O-L-L-Y. Lord, I can't spell. Wholly other, right? Completely set apart, something that's entirely different and unique from anything or everything else, right? Wholly other. That's what holiness is when it comes to our understanding of it from the scriptures as it relates to God. God's absolute separation and uniqueness, his complete purity and moral perfection, and his awesome power and glory, okay? So I want to start there because I think that's the easier one to frame when we're saying that we worship because God is holy, right? That's how we understand holiness. But in this series, we're going to be examining the idea of worship, and particularly worship as a lifestyle, right? Particularly worship as a lifestyle. So yeah, we understand what holy is, and we can grasp that, I think, intellectually. But what is worship, right? Worship is one of those words. Think about this for a second. It's one of those words that we use all the time, and we use it so often that we think that we know what it means, right? there's so many different thoughts about worship, how you do it, right? Is there a right way or a wrong way to worship? Should you be standing? Should you be sitting? Should you have your hands up, your eyes closed? Should you have your hands down, your eyes open? Right? Can I worship when I don't feel like it? Why is worship so difficult sometimes? I know when I've been places where maybe the music is so loud it's piercing my ears, I don't know that I can even worship the Lord because I'm bothered, right, by the volume or something. Why does everyone else seem to know what they're doing in worship, but I stand there and I'm like, I don't really get it, right? There's so many different thoughts about worship and how you do it. I want you to think critically, biblically, and practically about this for 1 second, right? So we're going to do an activity. Now, I always tell y'all, put your phones away, let's be respectful. But this is the moment where you get to get your phones back out. But we're going to use this for the activity, right? Get your phones out if you have a smart device. Get out a Bible. If you have a physical Bible, I know we have some. If we can distribute those. Or you can utilize the Bible app on your phone. And we're going to divide into groups of, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. We're going to do this. Molly, we're going to start counting off. Ready? We're going to go 1 through 4 so you know what group you're in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, Sebastian, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. All the ones get together, all the twos get together, 3s and 4s and so on. I find that worship is a lot like love, right? Describe it. Make sense of it. It's such a vast subject, it can be tough to define or describe. All right, group 1. Who's the spokesperson? Our spokesperson? All right, to your feet. Wait. You were raising your hand. Wait, are you group 1? Who's? You're group 1? Are you the spokesperson for 1? All right, hit me. What is worship and how do I do it? Everybody listen. Shush.
Be like a meaningful display of love towards God using like music, so like a physical instrument or like singing.
Okay.
And then acts, so like going to places telling people about God and just like worshiping in public. And then like words, which would be in like the same category of like actions. And then location, so like you go to places and like some places you're not like allowed to be able to worship right, and then you have to figure out different ways to be able to worship God. And like, that's pretty much it. All
right, give it up for group 1. Group 2, who's the spokesperson? On your feet, where you at?
Praying for the Lord. I can't read my own.
I can't help you with that. Okay.
Seeing the Lord is something you do because you love Him, admiring God's creation, loving others, and being because He loves you.
Okay. Admiring God's creation, loving others. What was it?
Worship isn't just for the music. It can be different in circumstances because it's expressing love for God. Being devoted to Him because kind of prayer and seeking.
Okay. All right, give it up for group 2. Group 3, who's the spokesperson? On your feet. Let's go. Nice and loud. What is worship and how do I do it?
Worship is how you connect and praise the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
There's no specific way to do it. As long as you are connecting with God in some way. You can dance, sing, pray, spread the gospel. Then worship is done ultimately for God, not for other people.
Worship is done ultimately for God, for other people. Okay. All right, that's it. All right, give it up for group 3. And group 4, last but not least, group 4 is the spokesperson. All right, hit me.
Okay, first of all, what we did is we discussed for each person in our group what they would do for worship. So the ways we got were acknowledging others' worship and privately joining in.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe singing in your head and like watching other people worship might be worshipful for you. Singing worship songs in private and with others. Taking a walk in nature. So like just like observing the Creator's creation. Singing with others, and then dance. We found a verse in Romans that talked about like encouraging to give one's body as a sacrifice for worship.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone differently, and everyone is different. So how one worship depends on how God created you. It's okay to have different ways of connecting with the Lord. So it doesn't always depend on circumstance that the way you worship is different.
Okay. All right, group 4. Woo! So, again, my goal was to get you to think critically, biblically, practically, kind of about this, right? I hope you were listening to the answers of your peers, because there are several insights and perspectives that come out in this, right? And I also hope maybe it helps to shape your thinking about worship and how you define and understand it as you grow, right? Even from here, maybe starter in the thinking thought process, right? But if we want to understand worship and why we do it, one of the best places to start is the Psalms. Everybody tends to know that because the Psalms are typically written as songs or poems, right? Some Psalms use creation and nature to talk about how different God is, holy, right? Entirely other, unique. How different God is than all other parts of the universe, right? Because remember, we worship because God is holy, utterly unique, right? So let's punch through a couple of quick Psalms here. Psalm 24, 1 through 3 says this: "The world and all that is in it belong to the Lord. The earth and all who live in it are His. He built it on deep waters beneath the earth and laid its foundations in the ocean's depths." Psalm 8 says this: "When I look at the sky, which you have made, at the moon and the stars, which you set in their places, what are human beings that you think of them, mere mortals that you even care for them?" Psalm 89 says this: "The heavens sing of the wonderful things you do. The holy ones sing of your faithfulness, Lord. No one in heaven is like you, Lord. No one of the heavenly beings your equal. The Lord is great." Verse Psalm 96. "The Lord is great and is highly to be praised. He is to be honored more than all the gods. The gods of all other nations are only idols, but the Lord created the heavens." When we look at the world around us, we can see just how different God is, right? The writer of the Psalm knew the stories of God creating everything, but they also took the time to see God's handiwork around them in nature and creation in the world. And they noticed God's work, and they chose to do something different. They chose to worship, right? Simply put, God is utterly different from all creation, different from all humanity, different from all heavenly entities, powers, principalities, as the Bible describes it, and different from all other gods. Yes, the Bible does allow for polytheism, many gods, but God is very clear that He is above all and greater than, or entirely holy, unique from all other gods, right? God is holy, and our right response is to worship Him because of it. That's what worship is, right? In a nutshell, it's responding to moments, whether amazing, difficult, or normal, that you have with God. The psalm writers respond to their experiences of God with awe and wonder, and they wrote poetry and songs to sing along with others. Through their experiences, they understood that God was holy, high above the rest of creation, and their experience of God's holiness inspired them to worship. But here's the rub for me, right? For me, Josh Ortiz. Maybe you guys have the same issue. It's one thing to say that God is holy, and it's something else entirely to ask me to be holy, right? 1 Peter says this: "So then, have your minds ready for action. Keep alert and set your hope completely on the blessing which will be given you when Messiah Yeshua is revealed. Be obedient to God and do not allow your lives to be shaped by those desires you had when you were still ignorant. Instead, listen to this: be holy in all that you do, just as God who called you is holy. The scriptures say, be holy because I am holy." Right? Quoting from Leviticus there, the Apostle Peter is saying. Right? So, be holy as I am holy. Well, what does that mean? Remember, we said holy means to be absolutely separate, unique, completely pure, morally perfect. And in this case, in regards to God, powerful and glorious, right? We got to be that? That's a rub for me. It's like I can barely sometimes get my outfit together in the morning, and I got to be all of this because God is calling me to be that? Even though it's a high standard, and even though we're not perfect, we can still strive to be holy, right? Maybe we need to pull away from toxic friendships, right? Maybe we need to stop trying to be like everyone else and just be ourselves. A little bit weird, a little bit different, a little bit unique, right? Maybe we need to avoid being alone with that boy or with that device. Maybe we need to stand up for the kid getting bullied in school. Maybe we need to pray in faith when everyone else has given up. We're invited to try and live in that way. Different, wholly other, right? Be holy as God is holy. I know that doesn't come easy, but here's a few suggestions I think we can offer on how to get started. We need to decide, we need to stop, and we need to start. Decide. Choose to live differently, right? God is calling you to take a step of faith and guiding you to live differently, right? The first step of climbing Mount Everest is to make the decision, yeah, I want to get to the top, right? You have to make a decision. Yes, I want to live this way. However difficult, whatever may come, I choose to do this, to live holy as God is holy. To stop. We all got habits and patterns and decisions we've made that keep us from getting closer to our goals. In fact, even closer to the Lord. If we want to grow in our faith, we'll have to really consider what we need to do to stop, right? It might be a relationship, an attitude, a behavior, something else that's keeping you from growing. But God is calling us to holiness because it's an invitation to turn away from those habits so we can move closer to Him, right? So what is God inviting you to stop doing? But you can't stop something and expect that vacant little void or hole to just be magically gone. If you stop something, you also need to start something, right? Stopping a habit's only helpful if you replace it with something better. So what do you need to help you live out holiness in the world? Do you need to start the devotional that we had on the QR code? You need to join a group of believers that meet after school, right? Whatever that may be, what do you need to start in order to fulfill the call of God to be holy as He is holy? Separate, unique. Dare I say the word different, right? Here's how I want you to start thinking about this, right? Decide, stop, and start. Can we get a couple of hander-outers, please? I want to give you this handout and I want to wrap it up. Thank you, thank you. If we may. It's very simple, but I think if you take advantage of it, it will be meaningful. If we need some more, let me know. I think I've got enough here, more than enough. Once you have it in your possession, listen very closely for some instructions on how to utilize it. It's not sophisticated, but I think it will have some value for you. I think it'll have some value for you. Does everybody have one? We missing any? I've got extras up here. You're good? All right, on this handout, where you see that little decide box at the bottom, right? On this handout, write down a big goal that you have for your relationship with God. It can be several if you want to, but pick one that you think is like a significant goal in your relationship for the Lord. Everybody understand what I'm saying? A significant goal that you have that you want to achieve in your relationship for the Lord. Write that in the decide box. Maybe it's you want to share your faith with someone. Maybe you want to make a habit of journaling every day. I don't know, whatever it may be. Write down some big goal you have for your walk with the Lord. And then I want to take a minute to allow you to think through how you're going to get there, right? You make the decision to do it. And that's a mental thing, maybe an emotional one at that, right? To get the emotional wherewithal to push to do it. But then you're going to have to do some stopping and starting, right? What changes do you need to make there? You're going to put in the stop and start boxes. Some of us may be stopping, that box might be too small. Hey, but we got some things we can put in both, yeah? Take a couple of minutes and keep this paper with you and allow for the Lord to really target stuff that you need to stop and highlight stuff that you can start. And highlight stuff that you can start. I genuinely believe that the Lord has done that with me. And I think he does that with every believer, where he kind of has this list. God doesn't, and hear me on this, I don't think that it's not possible humans would just explode. God is not going to take the whole list of things that need to be changed in us to look more like Yeshua and do all of them at once, right? He's going to take a lifetime of journeying with him and go down that list. What's tops, right? Maybe the first thing he wants to get you doing is stop smoking so you have good health, and then get to the using too many cuss words in a sentence. We'll get to that next, right? But God's going to go down that list, and he's going to constantly be targeting things that he wants to change and cause you to grow. So use this. What's some of those top ones on the list, right, that maybe need to stop? And then let him highlight in your life the things that he wants you to start, the relationships to kick up, the habits, the things to do, right? And give it a minute, fill it in, and use it this week as a point of prayer and a point of reference. Put it on your mirror when you're getting ready, trying to look all cute for your work day, right? Use it as a reminder. Put it on your fridge. Have your family hold you accountable if necessary, right? And put this as action steps where you can say, what do I want to start? What do I want to stop? Because this is where I want to get, right? And you'll use this for reference throughout this week. All right. Father, I thank you for today. I pray that you would seal this consideration to the hearts of everyone in attendance. And I pray that you would teach all of us, self included, what goals we need to set, however big and impossibly seeming, and what we need to stop and start to get there, and the people we need in our lives to help us achieve that as well. I thank you for everyone who's here. Pray you will bless them abundantly by your Holy Spirit in the name of Yeshua, our Messiah. Amen.